Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025, Beggar's Night here in my zone. And guys, be careful around trick-or-treaters. I remember, just quick story, my first full year of dashing, I dashed on Beggar's Night. There was a couple like really narrow streets I was driving down with parked cars on both sides of the street and little kids like running out, just crossing the street anywhere and everywhere, not at the intersections and crosswalks. I'd just be going down along these parked cars and they'd run out from in between the parked cars. I mean, so be careful. And another piece of advice that I wish I would follow myself, but I never follow my own advice. Guys, don't ever, with DoorDash and gig work, don't ever try to predict when it's like going to be busy or slow or what kind of orders you're going to get. Just don't even try. And I've said that many times in my videos, and like I said, I won't even listen to my own freaking advice. It irritates me. Perfect example, today's dash. Okay, let's get into it. Rainy day today. Raining my whole entire dash, and it's still raining right now. Okay, I log in, and at 5:44, excuse me, take a look at this offer. $675 for 18 miles going to Gahanna. Absolutely not. I've said it before, there's better donuts out there than Jolly Pirate. Get something out there. Get Krispy Kreme. Get, Duck Donuts. Whatever you got out there, get that. You don't need to be messing around with Jolly Pirate. I'm sorry. Decline. Here we go. Okay. 604. $30 Meyer. Only 9 miles. Absolutely. Okay. And this type of order is what I was expecting for the day. It's a Thursday. Thursday and Fridays are usually busy, and I knew it was going to be raining the whole entire day. So these type of orders is what I was expecting. And I was expecting to do some cherry picking today. Okay? You got another thing coming. Okay, here we go. Get to Meyer at 6:14, and how's this for this is great for as far as a breakdown of the shopping. One of the customers is just paper towels, and so everything else is customer A. So hey, that's great. And I took this screenshot because I didn't think okay, so this is this is 21 minutes into the shop. I was just in the front of the store in produce for 21 minutes. Crazy. And I took this screenshot when I had the produce portion of this done. 27 of the 48 items to shop was in produce. You see some of it here, the cucumbers, tomatoes, kiwi. There was like a watermelon. There was the plastic containers of the sliced up fruit. There was like 5 of those in different sizes. There was spinach. There was carrots. There was organic bananas. There's a 10-pound sack of potatoes. There was sweet corn, which I didn't think they would have, but they actually had some left. And all kinds of other stuff. So I finished the produce at 6:37. Okay, now we get to the subject of the video here. So I think the last thing I went to shop for was those paper towels for customer B, and these were the industrial ones. So over clear down over by like sporting goods, and I went to that aisle. They didn't have it. Okay, so I go to mark it as unavailable, and a new wrinkle that they've threw out here. Today's the first time I've seen this, but it now before it has asked for like an empty shelf location picture, but this was different. You see here it says capture the shelf tag to protect ratings and show that it's out of stock. So today for the empty shelf they wanted the shelf tag in the picture as well. Now the only kind of problem with this is I had to get in like really, really close to take my picture because the first like 3 or 4 tries that I tried to do this, it wasn't accepting it. And I had to get in really close. But the thing that kind of confused me is like a couple months back when they had the item locator, which I wish they wouldn't have gotten rid of. I only saw that in my shopping orders for like a couple days or a week, and then it was gone. And I like that. I wish they'd bring that back. But anyway, on that, I could stand clear back on the other side of the aisle, as far away from the shelf as I could get, and then hold my phone up and it would read all those shelf tags and point out the location you were supposed to go to. So on that you could stand all the way back, but however on this it won't read the shelf tag unless you're right up next to it. So I that makes no sense to me whatsoever. So I don't know. That was my only little complaint about it. Um, and I don't know. I don't think I like this. I think they need to go back. Hopefully, this just lasts for a couple days and this goes away because I don't like this for a couple reasons. Number one, how close you have to get in that shelf tag, and then the other thing too is what if you can't find the shelf tag? So, but fortunately I was able to for this, and then a little bit later on, and when we get to my Kroger shop later in the dash I did this again for that. But yeah, but because of those reasons I hopefully they get rid of this. So finish the shop at so I went all the way over near Sporting Goods. It wasn't there. Then I had to come all the way back because the substitution option was back in groceries. So I had to come back to groceries. You see here, it took a couple extra minutes to do that. You finally finished the shop at 6:51. Um, and then 717 was my first drop off. That was here in my apartment complex, so that was kind of convenient. And then 7 minutes later, dropped off the other order for $31.05. So take a look at this. So that's what is the actual difference here? Let me grab my calculator. Um, so 31.05 and 29.55. So that's $1.50. And yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why $1.50 was added to this. There was no additional items added to the shopping list while I was shopping. There wasn't any like notification of a customer adding to their tip, or I didn't get any kind of notifications whatsoever of anything. So I don't know why the $1.50 was added. Um, but I made, off to a good start. $31 in an hour and 20 minutes. So 16.50 and then 9.55 tip and a $5 tip. Okay, and then right away $3 McDonald's decline. And then I may okay. Okay, so I made the decision at this point to not mess around with orders that I would normally take, like in that $5 to $8 range that's lower mileage. Because again, it's a Thursday. It's raining outside. I thought it would be really super busy, and I could do some cherry picking here. Nope. 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 So I declined this order that I normally would have taken. Okay. Here's another one. Would have normally taken this 575 4 mile. Decline. I want a higher paying shopping. Nope. Decline another order that I normally would have taken. $6 4 mile McDonald's. That's easy. 1, 2, 3 routine. I normally do those. I declined it here. This would have been a decline. Upside down IHOP, $6 7 mile, going out of zone. And finally, at 7:30, after six straight declines or whatever that was, I went ahead and I broke down and I changed my mind. I went ahead and took this. Those $7, 4.5 mile, one item Giant Eagle. Okay. And there's my item, just thing of chocolate milk, easy, found that right away. Delivered at 7:52, so 22 minutes, made my $7, $6 from DoorDash, and there it is right there. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Yeah, here, this is why I was declining those offers. This is what I thought the first order, and this is what I thought I could continue getting. So $18, 10 mile Meyer, just two things to shop for. Let's do it. Okay. So the root beer, I didn't even have to go to the pop aisle. Found that in Action Alley. So just walking towards the pet department. Boom, that's an Action Alley. Got that. Got the cat food. Did I get a shopping time? 2 minutes. 2 minute shop. And that's with walking to the back of the store. And 8:21. So thank you very much. Less than a half hour. $18. Outstanding. $7.75, $10.75 tip. And so at this point, like, I'm feeling really good. I'm only a couple hours into, like 2 hours and 20 minutes in. I'm at $56. Okay. And I'm thinking that I may hit goal and be able to shut down even earlier than I did yesterday. $5 Starbucks decline. Okay. Then I'm still in that previous decline. I wasn't anywhere close to coming back to zone yet. So I went ahead and declined that. I still got a few minutes before I get back to zone. Then I was pulling into Meijer to wait for orders, and Burger King breakfast sounded good. I broke down. I couldn't help it. I paused the dash and got Burger King breakfast. Whatever. So 11-minute pause to eat that. Okay, resume the dash. And folks, here is where, like, I'm not even going to say that, like, the wind got taken out of my sails. It was worse than that. It was like the sails themselves got ripped off of my boat. Okay, so I'm sitting on it with this order. This was the beginning of, this ruined me. So this order right here ruined me. So now I'm sitting in a boat with no sails in the middle of the ocean and just drifting until the Coast Guard can find me and rescue me. $11, 10 miles. Yes, this is raunchy, and I'm sitting at Myers. It's 10 miles one way, 10 miles back. What I was thinking was that, okay, I'm sitting at Meijer. Okay, so, and it's just one thing to shop for. I'm thinking that that this would be a good order time wise, is how I was looking at it. That I could it's gonna just take a minute to shop this, whatever it is, and then I could get out to the customer, drop this off, and be a little bit of the way back to zone all in a half hour, and then this would be acceptable. There's my one item, Coke, 2 liters. Okay, they only have cans in Action Alley, so I had to go all the way back to the pop aisle. No big deal. Found it. But look at this. I delivered at 31 minutes. That's just to deliver it. It would have been a few minutes less. It would have been, 27, 28 minutes, but the customer did not specify in their instructions which door to go to. This was a warehouse. GPS, when I turned into the parking lot of the warehouse, wanted me to turn in the direction of like the back door. So that's where I headed first and realized that no, this doesn't look like an entrance that anybody would use, even though there's cars parked there. So I had to get turned around. I had to come back up to the front. That's where the customer was. And I delivered the 5 2 liters. $7.25, $4 tip. But what killed me on going out there and coming back was it really wasn't that trafficy, not that many vehicles really, but it was who I was following. So I just so happened to get stuck behind like a Dodge van. I don't know, probably some, if there are any men out there older than I am, I don't know, but it's probably some really extremely old man, going 40 mile an hour in a 55. So that's what I had to deal with for more than half the drive to the customer. And then coming back to zone, I got caught behind like a semi truck and a train of traffic behind this semi truck that I don't know what it was doing. And I kid you not, for about a quarter of a mile, half a mile stretch of the drive back, 25 miles an hour in a 55. I was going 25 miles an hour in a 55. It was raining, but it wasn't raining that hard. And like I said, I don't know what that driver was doing. And you can't pass. It's the road's way too big. You can never pass another car on that road. It's just nearly impossible. 15 minutes goes by, okay? And then I'm still not even back to zone yet. Look at that right there. I'm still not back. This looks horrible, but it's really not. $5, 5 miles, but I gotta drive those miles back anyway. And this is only one pickup location. It says Tim Hortons and Wendy's, but they're in the same building. Okay, so it's one pickup location, one customer. So this isn't as bad as it looks. I mean, it's not the $20 or $30 shopping order that I was hoping to consistently get, but I'm back to doing the normal type of orders that I decided to go ahead and take stuff like this, and I guess this is going to be a normal day now, and I guess I'm going to be taking the $5, $6, $7, 3, 4 mile orders, I guess. Okay, the Tim Hortons was ready right away. That's just a 10 piece Timbits. It's sitting right there and ready. Wendy's side was slammed. There's all kinds of foot traffic, and so I'm sitting there waiting. And I get the prompt at 7:44 to drop the Wendy's. However, right as I got this screenshot, he was packaging up the order. So he was the order was done. He's just putting the stickers on the bag and the drinks. Okay, so I hit no, continue with the order, and okay, so delivered 5 minutes later. Customer's just right across the street, and had I dropped the Wendy's, there's what I would have got right there. Because you see, the customer put the $3 tip on the Wendy's order. So it would have been, of course, it's all in hindsight now, but it would have been interesting if I had a dropped the Wendy's, and if the Tim Hortons was the one that had the $3 tip instead. And I'm presuming that I still would have got the full $5 even though I dropped half the order. I don't know. I've never had that happen before, but maybe one of these days something like that might happen. 10 o'clock, I'm not making that mistake again. I made the mistake with the Coke, okay, and that, ruined me. I'm not doing it again. $10, 10 miles, absolutely not. At 10 o'clock. $10, 10 miles, 10 o'clock. There you go. $5 less than 2 mile McDonald's. Let's do it. 13 minutes, 2 and 3. Not shopping 12 things at Aldi's for less than $12, decline. Then I wait, what is that, 28 to 47, that's like 19 minutes I waited. $9, 6 mile Chipotle, I guess, here. And so this was, what was that, 20 minutes for the $9, 2 and 7. So that wasn't too bad. So it's 11:07 at this point. Let's see what I could get. Again, $10 Jolly Pirate going out. It's either like, I can't tell, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, somewhere out of state probably. I don't get it. I just do not get it. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong on Jolly Pirate. I don't know. I need somebody to tell me that Jolly Pirate donuts you just can't beat it. No donuts are better, and I would drive 100 miles to get Jolly Pirate. If there's somebody out there that's seen something in Jolly Pirate that I'm not seeing, let me know. My gosh, folks. Upside Down Panera, decline. Reynoldsburg, not doing it. $5 3 mile Little Caesars. This was easy. It was just an extra most bestest and a 20 ounce of Pepsi. It was ready. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 12 minutes. 2 and 3. Again, $16, 15 mile Cracker Barrel catering. Not doing it. And less than a minute later, here we go. Finally, 11:21. We're talking like, it was like I sat there in my boat without any sails for 3 hours before the Coast Guard found me and rescued me with this order. $25, 14 mile Marco's Pizza, 11 items. Let's do it. Okay. This ended up being 10 large pizzas and a bread. And I had just perfect, I got 3 pizza bags, and that's exactly what I needed. You fit the cheaper pizza bags, you fit 4 large pizzas in each one of those. And then the thicker, nicer pizza bag, 2 pizzas and the bread. So if there would have been any more pizzas in addition to this, then I would have started using the catering bags. But had this delivered in 35 minutes for the $25. And this customer, similar situation, similar size, like warehouse. This customer put in the in the instructions, it's not the first door that you'll see. Drive all the way back to the end of the building. It's the back door. And so that was very helpful. I knew exactly where to go, and he met me at the doors once I got back there, and easy. 575 and 1886 on the tip. Appreciate that very much. So I'm on my way back to zone. 550, 7.8. This is upside down because of my position. So still kind of raunchy because I'm going to pass the customer, pick up the KFC, and come back. So I decline this. Here we go. 1644, 6 mile Kroger, 17 things to shop. Yes, let's do it. And didn't really have too much problems with this, I don't think. Was there any substitutions? Yes. Yeah, I was telling my wife, I used to eat these Gatorade bars, protein bars, years ago. Years ago. I can't believe they're still around. But I don't even remember what year. It's 20 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. I can't even remember. But I used to eat wherever I was working at the time. I have no idea. Whatever W-2. And I remember taking these to work like pretty much every single day. And yeah, I don't know why I stopped eating them. I don't know. I can't remember. 22-minute shop. So this was this little over 40 minutes, about 45 minutes for the 1644. So that works. 925, 719. I mean, you see here that it's just after those the first couple hours, then the rest of the day it just became like a regular day. And I'm at $132, and probably going to be logged in here another hour maybe. A minute later, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. 1225, 5 mile Aldi's. 32 units, but see, half of this is bananas. You got 15 bananas. So this wasn't a bad shop. This only took 11 minutes, and I had this shopped. And no real problems with this. Everything was there. And delivered at 128. So little over a half hour, 1225. So, not bad. $9.25, $3 tip. And at this point, I'm good for like one more order. I had like a return to do at Kohl's. I didn't get a chance to do that yesterday. I wanted to do it today. So I want one more order and stay in the area that I'm in. I don't want to go too far out. And this is going too far out. $10, 14-mile Panera Dairy Queen. Nope. Going to the hilltop. the $6 9 mile Caesars. This looks like Darby Dale. I didn't zoom in on it, but I bet you anything. And I no, I'm not going out there. Um, I don't know. I might have to end the dash at this point. 1457 14. This going out to Groveport. No, I want just one more order, staying in zone. This isn't exactly what I was hoping for, but this keeps me in the area that I want to stay in, and I went and took this 450 2 mile Wendy's. And this delivered to like some kind of like indoor golf. I don't know if it's like miniature. I think it was like miniature golf. I didn't even know the place was even there. 12 minutes, 2 and 250 tip, and that was it. So I think yesterday I was able to log off. It's like around 12:30 here today, over an hour, like an hour and 15 minutes longer. I was logged in to make about the same amount of money. Um, yeah, I made about the same amount of money today as yesterday, but was logged in. Yesterday I was only logged in for 6 total hours, 6 hours, 16 minutes. Today, 8 hours and 1 minute, and active 553 of that. So over 2 hours of downtime. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a Thursday and raining. I don't know. I don't know, folks. Don't ever, again, I'll say it for the fifth or sixth time in this video, don't ever try to predict if it's going to be slow or busy. Can't do it. It can't be predicted. Drove 105 miles today, so that's pretty decent. That includes, I'd say, about 5 miles of that is my errands that I ran after the dash. So really like 100 miles, but I still recorded 105. Finished at 50% acceptance rate. What is that? That's up 3 points from yesterday. Now at 5,462 lifetime DoorDash deliveries, and after today's dash, I'm back up to 100% completion again because the Dollar General drop from the 21st, 9 days ago. It's been 100 deliveries since then, and that has dropped off and back up to 100%. Thank you very much. And that is it for this dash. Thanks guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We'll do this all again tomorrow. Be safe out there driving. Again, especially around the trick-or-treaters, please. And we'll see you all at the next video. Thanks again, guys.